Good morning. So in the last class, we discussed about the mechanical systems and also equivalent mechanical system, how we are going to do. And any mechanical system present only three elements which you can discuss about the mass, spring, and damper. So when the force is applied, which all these elements will undergo the displacement and as well as velocity and acceleration. So with a mass element, we can say it is acceleration, and with the damper, it exists the velocity and as well as the displacement in the spring. So this we have discussed in the last class. And today we discuss about the electrical systems. Today we discuss about the electrical systems. So basic elements of electrical systems. When you talk about there are three elements like mechanical systems. As we discussed, the mass, spring, damper. Similarly, we have three elements in any electrical system. What and all those we can call it as? One is a resistor, then inductor, or capacitor. So resistor and inductor and capacitor. So if you look at this here, the resistor looks like this. The resistor looks like this, and any electrical network, if you look at the resistance, can be represented as like this. The resistance where the resistor element is present, that is represented with this kind of symbolic representation of the resistor. And the time domain expression means we have a time domain expression for the resistance according to the Ohm's law. According to the Ohm's law, that we know that the voltage is related to the current. Voltage is related to the current. So that is V of t is equal to I of t. That is V is equal to IR. V is equal to IR. So as I'm telling, there is a time domain expression. So V is shown in the as a function of time. I is also shown as a function of time. So that is V is equal to IR, or V of t is equal to I of t R. So this time domain expression is converted into a Laplace transformation by using the for the above equation. That is V is equal to V of t is nothing but we know Laplace transformation of f of t is equal to f of s, capital F of s. Similarly, V of t is V of s. V of t is equal to V of s. Then I of t is I of s. So that's why V of s is equal to I of s into R. So that's what we have represented here. And coming to the another element, which you can say capacitor. So if you look at this, the capacitor can be shown like this, and also the symbolic representation of the capacitor looks like this. So in an electrical network which drawn like two vertical parallel lines, then we can say it is a capacitor representation. So this is a capacitor, how it looks like. And the time domain expression relating voltage and current for the capacitor is given as, so generally V is equal to 1 by C integral of I of t dt. So this is how we can calculate the voltage using the capacitor. Using the capacitor. So voltage equation for using the capacitor is 1 by C integral of I of t dt into I of t dt. So this conversion into a Laplace transformation. So V of s, of course, f of t will become f of s, and 1 by c. We discussed integral of I of t is equal to I of s by s. By neglecting the initial conditions, this I of t can be written as I of s. I of t can be written as I of s. So this suffix c is represent the capacitor. It is a capacitor, so no need to represent also. You can write V of t is equal to 1 by c I of t dt. Okay. So the Laplace transformation for the time domain expression is given as like this. So V of s is equal to 1 by c into I of s by s. So that we have mentioned here. So then similarly, one more electrical element which is present in any electrical system is inductor. So this is how the inductor looks like. So the representation of the inductor in the electrical networks is represented like this. Means it's a kind of a wave like this. The time domain expression for the calculating the voltage for the inductor is given as V of t is equal to L into di by dt. So this is the time domain equation for the voltage through calculation through inductor. So then V of t is equal to L into di dt. So this will be transferred into a Laplace transformation. This will be transferred to a Laplace transformation for the above equation. Then we can have V of S is equal to L di of dt. Means by neglecting the initial conditions, we can write S into I of S. S into I of S. So V of S is equal to L into S into I of S will become the Laplace transformation of the above time domain expression. So these are the three elements. These are the three elements which you can represent in any electrical. So one is the resistor, which you can say, which is called as a resistance carrying current, which resistor which carries the current, and also inductor, which discussed, the capacitor. All these three elements. So we have discussed the how you can calculate. How you write the time domain equations for the voltage in the three elements, as well as the Laplace transformation of these three elements also we have mentioned it. So now coming to this VI and IV relations in this case. So when it is VI, the relation means V as the subjective, V is the subjective, so that's why it is shown in the left hand side. So V is equal to IR, that I is equal to V by R. So voltage representation and current representation for the three elements. Then coming to the see here, if you look at this example, the two-port network shown in the following figure has a Vi of t as the input voltage and V naught of t as the output voltage. Find the transfer function of Vi naught by Vi of S of the network. So you need to find out the transfer function. Transfer function in the sense output by input. So what is the output here? Output voltage divided by input voltage. That is nothing but V naught by Vi. So in the Laplace transformation you need to. So Laplace form of output and Laplace form of input. So that is V naught of S by Vi of S you need to find out. So for that we need to have the equation of which represents this electrical network. So simple electrical network which consists of a resistor and as well as the capacitor here. So when you look at the resistor, what is the voltage across this resistor is going to be a R, that is I into R, and voltage across the capacitor which can be taken as is going to be 1 by C integral of I of t dt. So the input current, if you look at here, the input current which is passing through like this through resistor and the capacitor. So I am measuring the output between the capacitor. So output voltage is going to be once again V naught is equal to 1 by C integral of I of t dt. So this is the input voltage equation first is written, then the output voltage is to be written. After writing these two equations, we need to convert this into a Laplace time domain function. So if you look at this, V naught of t is equal to 1 by C integral of I of t dt is the output voltage. So this is the input voltage equation, this is the output voltage equation. So once you write all these equation in a time domain function, we are going to convert this into a Laplace transformation. So taking the Laplace transformation of both equations, which considering the initial conditions are 0. So as we discussed, the initial conditions will be taken as 0 in this case. So when you consider the initial conditions here as 0, then it will become as Vi of S is equal to I of S into R plus 1 by Cs into I of S, and V naught of S is equal to 1 by C into S into I of S. Of course, I of S by S. I integral I of t d is nothing but I of S by S. So so in the both case we have written like this. Now rearranging these both equations, we can write Vi of S is equal to I of S. We can take out the common in the Vi equation as well as the in the V naught equation also we can write like this. Then substituting this I of S in the equation of the left equation, so we can get into Vi of S is equal to Cs into V naught of S R plus 1 by Cs. Means you are substituting this equation, output equation, in this I of S, in the I of S. So I of S is equal to Cs into V naught of S. So that we have substituted here. So once you substitute this equation, now I can write the V naught of S by Vi of S. So now I can write the V naught of S by Vi of S, which is equal to 1 by Cs into R plus 1 by Cs, because this Cs have taken denominator, so it will be taken as rearranging the term, because we need to write the V naught of S by, because our transfer function is Laplace transformation of output divided by Laplace transformation of input function. So V naught of S by Vi of S. So subjective is V naught of, so Vi of S is sending that side, and the remaining terms taking to this side, I'll get like this. Now this is what we can call a CFS will be, if you take the LCM in the R plus 1 by CS function, so I'll get the 1 plus RC into C. So RC is the constant, and 1 by 1 plus S, 1 by 1 plus RC into S we can write as. This is the first order equation, we can call it as, this is a first order equation. So here the system has one pole at S is equal to 1 minus RC, S is equal to minus 1 by RC, S is equal to 1 minus RC. So this, what is a pole and what is a zero, we'll discuss in the when it comes to the third module. Okay, so before that you can stop here and we'll move to the analogous system. Before that, analogous system. Okay, so now we'll move on to the, so till now we discussed about the electrical system, right? We discussed about the electrical system, which have the three elements. One is resistor, then capacitor, then inductor. Then these are the three elements which we have discussed till now. No, and also in the last class we discussed about the mechanical systems, which we discussed about the mechanical system, which has the three elements, in the mechanical system. We have mass, spring, and damping. So these are the three elements present in any mechanical system. So now we'll move to the analogous systems. Analogous systems. So analogous systems are nothing but between the electrical and mechanical system, there exists a fixed analogy. Okay, there exists a similarity between these equilibrium equations. So now we can say it is very possible to draw an electrical system, which is exactly similar to the given mechanical system. So we need to write the electrical system exactly equal to the mechanical system. That is what we can call it as analogous systems. That's what we can call it as electrical analogous of the given mechanical system, we can call it as. So there are two methods. Of obtaining the electrical analogous networks. We can call it as electrical analogous networks. So what are those two methods which you can call it as FV analogy? The other one is FI analogy. So this is called as direct analogy. We can call it as direct analogous networks. And this is called as inverse analogy networks or inverse analogous networks. So these are the two methods which we are going to discuss now. So this is one, FV analogy and FI analogy, which are equivalent to the electrical system, mechanical system. Okay, so we are approaching the FV analogy and as well as FI analogy. So this is called as RLC series. Also we can call it as, they have different. So we can call as once again loop analysis. FE analysis is also called as loop analysis, and this is called as node analysis. Okay, and here the RLCs in the FE analogy, force voltage analogy. In the force voltage analogy, the RLC circuit is connected in series, and then RLC is parallel. We can call it as RLC parallel. So these are the things which you can talk about the FE analogy and FI analogy, where F stands for force voltage analogy. Okay, then force current analogy. So force, as in the mechanical system, we can write the force equation. In the electrical system, we write the voltage equation. In the mechanical system, we write the force equation, and we'll write the equivalent analogous system of the in the current equation. So voltage equation. Here I use the current equation. That's why it's called as Fi analogy, and this is called as Fe analogy. So this is what we can discuss with a one example. So first I'll write the mechanical system. Yeah, mechanical system. We'll talk about the mechanical system here. So in the mechanical system, as we discussed in the last class, there are three elements. Any mechanical system which you represent, it is a spring, and there is a mass. Of course, the damper is provided to overcome the friction. So this is the B. So this is the B. You can say here is a B, and this is a M, and this is a K. So now I have applied a force in the direction of like this, F of t, and of course there is a displacement caused due to this force applied in the same direction. So now if you look at this mechanical system, due to this applied force, there will be a displacement amount by x of t. So now I can write according to the Newton's law of motion. I can write according to the Newton's law of motion. According to the Newton's law of motions, I can write the force equation. Because applied force will cause the displacement in the spring, acceleration to the mass, okay, displacement in the spring and acceleration to the mass against the frictional force constant B. Okay, so that's why if I write the equation, I think which I have studied this, F of t is equal to m into acceleration plus damping coefficient into force, velocity, damping coefficient into velocity, plus spring stiffness or spring constant, we can call it as x of t. Then this is the F of t equation, means as we told that in the mechanical system we write the F equation, and then in the equivalent electrical system we write the voltage equation in the case of Fe analogy, and in the case of current equation I'll write the Fi analogy. In the case of Fi analogy I write the current equation. So now if you look at I'll write the differential equation of this with respect to the x of t. In all this V is replaced, so this V is replaced by the differential equation, and in respect to the time, and also acceleration is also replaced. So how to write that is nothing but m into d square by dt square of x of t plus b into d by dt of x of t plus k into x of t. So this is what the force equation which you can write. So if you take taking Laplace transformation for the above equation, so if I apply the Laplace transformation of f of t or force of t is equal to Laplace transformation of m into d square by dt square x of t. Okay, I apply for the individual term in the above equation. So Laplace transformation of b into d by dt of x of t plus Laplace transformation of k into x of t. So if you look at this, now applying the Laplace transformation for the above equation, we know that Laplace transformation of L of f of t is equal to f of s. So here this force equation will become as f of s. Then here m is the constant. So we need to write the equation for the d square by dt square x of t. So we know that Laplace transformation of d by d square t by dt square of f of t can be written as s square into f of s. We can write by neglecting the initial condition, s square into f of s. So this will become m will be taken out because it is a constant, and Laplace transform of d square by dt square into x of t will become as s square into x of s, s square into x of s. Similarly, Laplace transform, once again d by dt is there, so d by dt is nothing but s into x of s. So here this can be generalized equation can be written as s to the power of n into f of s, s to the power of n into f of s. Laplace transform of d power n by dt power n f of t is equal to, I can write s to the power of n f of s. So where it is a first derivative, then n will become 1, second derivative n will become 2, third derivative n will become 3, likewise. So it is called a generalized equation. Okay, right. So now coming to this point, b is a constant one, once again because it is a coefficient which represents, then Laplace transform d by dt of x of t is s into x of s. So look at this generalized equation and substitute and write down. Then k is a constant and x of t is a function, variable with the displacement in time. So I can write as k into x of s, k into x of s. So this is what we can write the Laplace transformation of force equation, Laplace transformation of force equation. Okay, got it now. So this is how this is the Laplace transformation of the mechanical system, if it is represented with the mass and the spring and damper. So similarly, we can take the what you call loop analysis or force voltage analogy, which we discussed. Yeah, so we'll take force voltage analogy. Here we'll discuss the force voltage analysis. Okay, so in this case, right. So in this, as I told that we can say it is also called as what? Loop analysis. It is also called as loop analysis. Now I'll take the resistor, the three elements which are present in any part of electrical networks. We can take it as like this. And this is the electrical network. I have given input voltage Vi of t, and this is the current flows in this circuit I of t. Okay, now I am measuring the output for this network. Of course, this is the R and this is the L and this is the C. Resistance, inductance and the capacitance. All the three elements are represented like this. Now I have to measure the output of this equation, or otherwise you just to measure how the what is the voltage in this equation. According to the Kirchhoff law, I can write the equation for this. Voltage here, as we told that in this case, the force and the voltage, these two are analogous. So these two are analogous in the sense, so force is equivalent in the electrical system with the voltage. So that is why voltage assumed to be a analogous one for the force. So now we apply the Kirchhoff law for this electrical circuit, and we obtain the voltage equation, how you did for the force equation in the mechanical system. So we write here voltage equation, that is Vi or Vi of t, or V not, just V also it can be represented. So Vi of t in a time domain function. So voltage across this resistor. So we can have the equation while discussing the single elements. So what is the voltage we are going to find out is V is equal to IR. Similarly, I'll write here with the time domain function. So I is the time domain function and R is the constant. So I of t into R plus then voltage, because all these three are connected in series, RLC series we can call it as RLC series. So then the inductance, so the voltage which is across the inductance, we have equation that is L into d by dt of I of t, d by dt of I of t. So similarly, the voltage across the capacitor, we have the equation 1 by C integral of I of t dt. So now the voltage across the three elements is calculated. So voltage across the resistance, this is the I of t into R. Voltage across the inductance, we have L into di of t, I mean d by dt of I of t, and voltage across the capacitor, we have the 1 by c integral of I of t dt. So all the three elements which have calculated voltage across these three elements. Now, so according to Kirchhoff law, what it says, because these are connected in series, we can sum up all the voltages. There is V1, V2, V3 like that. That's why we've done all this. Sum of the algebraic sum of all the voltages will be equivalent to the total voltage in the circuit. That's what according to the Kirchhoff law we have drawn. Now, by applying the Laplace transformation, by applying the Laplace transformation for the above equation. So we get Laplace transformation of Vi of t is equal to Laplace transformation of I of t into R plus Laplace transformation of, here L is the Laplace transformation, L is the inductance here, d by dt of, don't confuse with the two L's here, okay. Then Laplace transformation of 1 by c into integral of I of t dt, right. So now, we discussed that Laplace transform f of t is equal to f of s. That is, I can write with the capital letter Vi of s is equal to. Then here is r is a constant, so I'll take it as r outside. Then Laplace transformation of I of t. So I of t is nothing but I of s. Okay. Then L is a constant, so I'll take it out L as a outside, and then Laplace transformation d by dt of I of t. So it's the first derivative just to the power of 1. So s into I of s, we'll get s into I of s. Then once again here 1 by c is a constant which will be taken as outside. Then integral of I of t dt, yes, integral of f of t dt, if I write the equation, Laplace transformation of integral of f of t dt is nothing but f of s by s. Neglecting the, very important is neglecting the initial conditions. So I write here I of s by s. So this is the equation. Which you can calculate. For the voltage. Now, if I want to compare this force and voltage equation FE to FE analogy without bringing them into a same form, then we cannot compare it. So what is the into comparing the same form, in sense s square into f of s. See here, there is no s square term here. So we have a s term and here a 1 by s term, but there is no s square term here. So when there is no s square term, so we cannot compare the f of s, because f of s is equal to, we have m into s square plus b into yes, of course, m into s square into I of s. That's what we have written, m into s square x of s, okay, x of s, and b into s into x of s plus k into x of s. So if you look at, there is a s square term, s term here. So here there is no s square term in this equation. So so we cannot compare these two terms. So we need to bring into the same coefficient, that is s square. If I want to compare the two equations in the time domain, say for example x square plus 2x plus 5 is equal to 0, and then 3x square, then x square we should have, then only to compare these equations. So likewise here we need to have the s square in this equation. To get the s square, I have one more, the current I of t we can write in the different form, which is called as I of t is equal to we can write as in the rate of flow. We can write in the form of rate of flow, that is d by dt of q. Q is the flow or flow of charge. We can call as q is the flow of charge. Q is the flow of charge. We can write flow of charge. So for this flow of charge, we can find out the rate of flow of charge is nothing but the current. So from this equation, I can write I of s is equal to, because d by dt of q, so it is a first derivative. If I apply the Laplace transformation on both sides, what happens? Laplace transformation of d by dt of q of t. So it will become as s into q of s. So s into q of s. So from this I can write q of s is equal to I of s by s. I of s by s. So now replacing this with these values, wherever this is there, I of s is there. So I can replace this value with the q of s. Q of s. Okay. So I of s is equal to s into q of s. So from this equation, so I can rewrite the V I of s equation, which is equal to R into, because I know I of s is equal to what? S into q of s. S into q of s. I'm replacing with the rate of flow of charge. Then plus L into S into and S into q of s. S into q of s plus 1 by C. So here I of s by s directly I can write the q of s here. 1 by C q of s. So if you rewrite the terms with the s square term, so L into s square in L into s square into q of s plus then s term, that is R into s into q of s, then constant term, that is 1 by C into q of s. So this is the voltage equation. This is the voltage equation which you have obtained. Now if you look at this force equation, now I'll write down here. I'll write down the force equation. F of s is equal to m into s square into x of s plus b into s into x of s plus k into x of s. Now you look at, we have the terms with the, if you look at this s square term we have, s square term we have, s term we have, s term we have, then q of s and x of s we have. So by comparing these two, now we can compare the equation of f of s and as well as v of s equation. Compare these two. Now I can write analogous, means equivalent of these linear or translation systems. So in the case of see, if I write the what you call equivalent in the form of FE analogy, okay. So equivalent of this mechanical system, okay. So mechanical system and with the electrical system. So this is translational system, and it is a equivalent electrical system. So if I write here in the translation system force, if I write the force, what is the equivalent term in the electrical term? It is a voltage. By comparing these two equations, for the case of, very importantly, I am writing for FE analogy. For the FE analogy, force is equivalent term in the electrical is equivalent to voltage, right? Next, coming to the mass is equivalent term in the case of FE analogy of electrical network is, it will become as inductance. That is, F is force is F and voltage FV, and here is mass, and this will become as L, inductance. By looking at the two equations, we can say the equivalent electrical term in the force voltage analogy. Be careful that force voltage analogy I am writing. Right? So next, what is the term we have? Frictional constant or damping coefficient of friction or damping coefficient. So friction constant or friction coefficient or friction constant, whatever the names you can give. So this is the B. What about the equivalent here in the electrical terminology of FV analogy? So it is resistance. So I'm writing these terms by looking at these two equations. Next is spring. We can say spring constant. It is a spring constant, K. Spring constant, that is K, or stiffness. So what is the equivalent term here? It is very important here. It is 1 by C, reciprocal of constant. I mean capacitance. Reciprocal of capacitance. It is equivalent term is reciprocal of. I can write reciprocal of capacitance. That is 1 by C, that is 1 by C. So K equivalent term is 1 by C. Next is displacement, because X is the variable here. Here is the displacement is the variable, whereas in the case of FV analogy, which is the variable, not the current, not the current. So it is a rate of flow. It is a rate of flow of charge. You can say rate of flow of charge. Okay. So displacement is the X of t, whereas in this case, charge you can write in a simple way. You can write as charge. You can write as charge. Okay. So this is the equivalent or FV analogy. Very importantly, it is a FV analogy. In the case of FV analogy, we have a equivalent terms of mechanical systems with the electrical system. That is, I have taken the mechanical system, which is translational motion, and of course we have a rotational motion also. We know that what is the equivalent term of rotational motion is force is the torque, and we know that mass is inertia and friction is same, and even the spring constant we can call it as a torsion spring constant in the case of a rotational system, and displacement it is called as a angular displacement in the case of rotation. That is what we'll discuss in the next class, not an issue. And FV analogy here I'm talking about only translation as well as electrical system. So how the equivalent term in the case of mechanical system into the electrical system. So while writing the mechanical system equivalent analogous systems, then we need to know the equivalent terms in the case of FV analogy as well as FI analogy. So with this, I can stop here. And as you have a quiz, in the for this session, so please attend the quiz. So in the next class, we discuss about the remaining what you call FI analogy. We can write the FI analogy. Okay, right. So please enter the US in the chat box and do attend the quiz. So I'll stop today.